ask you a quick question, please? I have a business. We closed escrow last week, and after we closed escrow, the seller find out the landlord did not give him the deposit yet. He contacted the landlord, and the landlord said his deposit applied to the new buyer. And then he contacted the new buyer to ask the refund of his deposit. The buyer said everything taken care in the escrow, and now the escrow closed. I will not give you any check. So what should we need to handle in this situation?
Well, escrow usually sends you the settlement, the closing statements. Did you look at the closing statements to make sure the rent deposit was transferring?
The escrow said he did not know that the deposit should be there. And the escrow agent tried to ask the buyer refund the deposit to the seller, but the buyer did not respond to his email, phone, or text.
So have you talked to the buyer, or was the buyer yours, or was the buyer represented by somebody else?
Me, I called and contacted the buyer, and the buyer said that the seller mistake. Why? The seller did not take a look and see the discrepancy before he signed. And the seller told me he's so excited with the money, he overlooked. He did not, realize.
Okay, so you've got a buyer that's ethically challenged. I mean, depending on how much the deposit is, how much was the deposit?
$7,000.
Yeah, your seller can probably take the buyer to small claims court. Small claims court goes up to 10,000. So I think the seller should just go take him to small claims court. And it's unfortunate. I mean, I don't know. Are they doing training together? Training in transition? Are they working together at all or no?
Yeah.
They are?
Yeah.
So the buyer is just being an unkind person. Yeah, I'm sure the seller is not real thrilled about trying to train the buyer and transition the business properly if the buyer is cheating him out of the $7,000 deposit that is rightfully his. So there was I think the only thing you can do is go back to the buyer and just say, hey, according to the terms of the purchase agreement, the deposit was supposed to be returned to the seller. And escrow missed it, but that's escrow's, that was escrow's fault, not the seller's fault. And if you want this transition to go well, you really should write the seller a check and make things right. Now, whether they will or won't is, a whole other issue.
Tanya, the thing is, in the beginning, they had the issue already, because in the beginning, the seller accepted the buyer offer. He changed his mind. He said no, even though he signed. And then when the buyer tell him, I'm going to sue you because you break the contract, then the seller, okay, go ahead and sell it. So they had the issue informed in the beginning. So that's why.
Yeah, that's probably why the buyers, yeah. So it's a payback because the seller tried to renege on the contract. So now the buyer is just saying, hey, too bad.